Hey guys, welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, I want to give you guys an update for day 2 of this account. We're actually about 2.5 days in because I messed up the recording on this one and didn't realize it, so we got to redo it. And also, I want to talk about summons in the early game for new players because we do have 2 events that go on with both Sacred and Void Shards. And I want to talk about my general thoughts around summoning in general on a new account. So that's where we're going to start. Then we will go ahead and do the account update. So first of all, summons. On day 1 of a new account, you will have a 2x boost on Sacred Shards. Now, in my video yesterday, I said I was saving my Sacred, and I said I would say why later, and I forgot to say why. Essentially for me, even though I had a Sacred Shard ready when the 2x starter was there, because this is a themed account where I am, doing the alien account, I want to get the Predator as well if I can, so I'm actually saving my Ancients and Sacreds for a Predator-style event if we can have a crack at getting him because it's a themed event. But in general, I think on a newer account, you can honestly do whatever you want. Now, your first day of a new account, like I said, has 2x on Sacreds. Now, the way you're going to get your Sacreds for doing the 2x in your first day is by clearing Hard Mode Campaign and Brutal Mode Campaign All-Stars. That's pretty much the only 2 you're really going to get on your first day of play. Most people, hard is about all you're going to get. And even though I had mine, I decided to save it once again for a Predator event. On day 2 of the account, you do have Void Shards as 2x. Now, in the previous recording that I did that got corrupted, I actually used mine. So if we go over here to my vaults, you'll see these are the 3 I summoned. I didn't actually get anything, even though I was summoning on 2x. Those are the three voids that I went ahead and pulled. And for Void Shards, you're going to get 2 pretty easily through max starring normal campaign. You get one at the end, the last chapter, chapter 12, and then you also get one for doing all the stars. It's pretty easy. You can also get another one through challenges, which was phase 4 of these challenges gives you another void. So you can get 3 voids on day 2 pretty easily. Might even be able to get more. You can see I still have one more. That's because I just got one through my hard chest on Clan Boss, which we'll talk about in a sec. But once again, in general, as a new player, I only recommend summoning any of your shards when they are on 2x. Just note we do have a 2x on everything coming up this weekend, which is huge. Can't wait for my other account. But yeah, only do them on 2x. Now, once you get later game, and at least this is my view, I start viewing shards as a currency to complete events. There's all these different events that Raid will throw at you to get you guaranteed champions, but a lot of them will require you to spend a lot of energy in the game doing different tasks, but also there's always a summon portion to it. So later on in the game, you do start saving all of your summons essentially to have them contribute to events to get guaranteed champions. But once again, in the early game, you can feel free to go ahead and summon them on 2x events if, especially if you're a new player and you just want to summon some new stuff and get some stuff exciting. However, there is also nothing wrong on a new account. Basically, the only mistake you can make on a new account is summoning them like right now when it's not a 2x and you're not using them on an event to guarantee yourself something. And just be careful when these events come around as well, because you need a lot of them saved up to actually make it work. So make sure you run the math and make sure you're actually going to get a guaranteed something of what you're trying to go for when you do it. Otherwise, you'll feel absolutely burnt. But 2x is honestly the safest for a new account. But just don't summon them outside of this. But the reason I say you can actually start saving if you want to on a new account from the very beginning, you can start saving for a guaranteed event is because we do have a really decent roster to start with. With the download links, the one I'm using is with Narma, Tagoar, Venomage, and Uugo. The one I think is better for new players is the same one down there with Tholin Foulbeard, and then Tagoar, Venomage, and Uugo. And then you go ahead and get Tagoar with the DESERTQUEEN code. Like, there are so many good champions to build. You can get Morag through Polarium Points, who's another great epic as well. And you're basically incredibly strapped on what you can go ahead and build anyway. So yes, getting a deeper roster is nice, but it's going to take you a little bit before you can actually build into that roster. So if you want to save, you can go ahead and do that. Now, you may say, yeah, but Vulcan, you used your Void Shards. Why is that? Voids are kind of a little exception for me in that. I think every new account, instead of saving Voids, even for an event or something like that, I think Voids are just worth popping whenever there's a 2x. As soon as this weekend's 2x comes, I'm going to pop my Void Shard here. Even though this account, I'm doing it completely free to play with only 3 units. But still, the idea is that with the Void Shards, there is a bunch of good Void Epics. Void rares that you can get that will be really impactful, and you can actually build them early, because if we look at my account here, if we go to upgrade skills, I've got 3 legendary books, 0 epic books, but 24 rare books. So if I get a good Void rare, then that's going to be able to be impactful on my account. Now, one of the big ones, which you'll know about, is Cold Heart. She's a massive nuker, absolutely fantastic pick up. If you pick this up as a new player, you build her, happy days. We also had another great one recently in the Sylvan Watchers, which is, where is he? The Glade Wolf. Glade Wolf is an absolutely amazing champion for newer accounts. So like, there is these rares that you'll probably end up getting. Like, let's face it, even though when you do it on a 2x on Voids, you do have a 2x chance, which is a 16% chance at an epic and a 1% chance at a legendary, but most of the time you're going to be getting rares. And so if those rares can be impactful on your account, well, that's awesome. And so that's why I do like doing the Void Shards regardless on the 2x on a new account. Once again, for Sacreds, for Ancients, pop them on 2x's if you want to, if you just want to scratch that summon itch, or you can already start saving them. Just note you will need a broad roster for things like faction wars and stuff like that eventually, but for most players, it's not going to happen. You're not going to really be pushing that stuff, in your first month, maybe even 2 months of play, depending on how sweaty you are. So you can either save these or pop them on 2x. Don't pop them outside of 2x unless there's an event to get you something guaranteed. As for primals, Primal Shards, I always recommend, if you have any, save them for a 2x Primal, which comes around like maybe once a year, which we do have coming up this weekend, which is absolutely huge. But that is everything going on there. So that's all I wanted to talk about with summons, because it is one of those interesting ones where, because the game has gotten so generous on your start, you don't actually feel like you need to start pumping out all your summons on 2x's as soon as they come around. But it is also sometimes very fun to do. And once again, on this account, I'm just saving if there's like some sort of Predator summon event, which is not a great use of them, but it's just for the theme of the account. All right, now let's talk about day 2 of this account. So we got out to Hanorok to 6-star. We got her 3-star Awakened, and she is comfortably farming over here on 12-3 Brutal. She was farming 12-3 Brutal while she was still at 5-star. But I got to swap that over. She was farming comfortably here when she was 5-star. And the basic setup that I use, if you are using Tahanarok as your farmer, is this. I use skill 2 and then not again on wave 1. And then on wave 2, I use skill 2 and then leave it off. And then on wave 3, I use skill 2 first. The reason being, on 12-3 Brutal, the third wave has the guys with the bombs. They give themselves an attack buff and then they put bombs on. This skill is perfect for countering that, because you either decrease their attack, block their buffs, or both. And that allows you to basically mitigate the damage that they can deal, and it allows you to survive that final wave, where sometimes you get bad RNG where they place 4 bombs and then, they do too much damage and you're screwed. So that is what I do with Tahanarok. If you are trying to farm with Tahanarok, that is what I go ahead and do. You can get away with it with lower stats, because like I said, she was doing it at 5-star, but that is where my Tahanarok is at. She's at plus 60 speed, plus 8k HP, plus 800 defense, and then she's pretty close to crit capped at 96%. And then, the plus 44 crit damage. So that's her build. She is on Perception because I got to the stage where we could get some Perception gear through the Forge. So we went ahead and crafted it. We didn't get crazy pieces. Unfortunately, nothing rolled into speed. But we did get the 4-star speed boots, and then we got some crit rate gloves that we slapped on as well. Otherwise, I would have just farmed up some speed set for these 2 pieces and slapped them on, and it would have called it a day. Just for some 4-star, 5-star pieces here on the speed set would have been good enough for me. We would have lost some accuracy, but it would have been good enough for farming. So that is what you need on a Tahanarok to go ahead and do that. Now, as I mentioned, we got a Void Shard from our Demon Lord Hard. Now, the Demon Lord has already reset, so I can't show you guys that. We do have a key. But what we managed to get was over here. This is what we did. So Demon Lord Hard, like just after 2 days of play, 7.57 million. I was pretty happy with this damage. Keeping in mind, like, Uugo is basically not geared. Tagoar is basically not geared. Venomage has like... Listen, I can show you their builds. But yeah, getting that 7.57, so we did a 2 key on the hard, which I was pretty happy with. And if we go back to here, and that's why I say, like, even if the best you can do in an early game is easy, normal, hard, do any of them, because you could get stuff. Like I said, I just got a I just got the Void Shard from this one, which is crazy. You could get some epic books, which would be great. Even these are just fantastic to pick up at this stage of the game. So definitely do whatever you can, even if it's only easy, because you do get some nice rewards, even as you're progressing through the difficulties over here in Demon Lord. But if you want to take a look at the rest of my character's builds, once again, Tagoar is the best because she's my farmer. This is my Narma, basically just stacking some speed and some HP on her as well. Then we have our Tagoar. You can see Tagoar is scuffed as shit. He's basically not built. We've then got Venomage. Now, Venomage, you can see we've got some don't judge me on these speed boots. I did it for a specific purpose to make my life in Arena easier, and I'll show you guys that in a sec. Then we've got accuracy on the chest because it had some speed. And then we got HP gloves just to get a little bit of tankiness. He is, or she, or it, whatever the fuck it is. This thing is incredibly scuffed, and it's just there to get to get to 170 speed because it's 1 speed faster than what my Narma is for Arena. That's literally it. And then if we go to my Uugo, you can see my Uugo is not even built. So with 2 characters built and 2 what I would call semi-built, that's the kind of damage we're doing. I'm really happy with the progression so far. But if we go over, and I want to show you guys this because actually we'll kick off with the Arbiter missions. I've been bricked on the Arbiter missions. I'm not even bothering doing these because at the end of this phase, I know I've got to fuse Justicar, and I have been farming a ton. And if we go over here to the fusion, I've only got Spirit Host. I have not got any of the others, and all I've really been doing is just farming, trying to get them, and I cannot get any of them, and I'm feeling super bricked. So I'm just going to keep farming up fodder, making another 6-star, and hope I can get those guys eventually, because unfortunately, yeah, I know this is just a really bad account in terms of we cannot get these characters to drop, and you are bricked on Arbiter missions if you can't do them. So I'm trying to get them before I go ahead and punch through the rest of the Arbiter missions. But yeah, it ain't looking too good at the moment. I've just been farming some 12-3 at the moment. Now, if we go over to Arena, that's the next place I want to touch on quickly. We actually did just unlock Tag Arena. I haven't even been into it yet. It's going to make me do all this stuff. Great tutorials. Okay, there we go. So in Arena, it's getting a lot better now. So Arena is really awkward. You have this little weird phase where you're in silver trying to get to gold. Once you get to gold, you're just refreshing for free wins, and then it doesn't really matter, but you got to kind of push through this phase of the game. Now, unfortunately, everyone here is sort of above my my standing, except for this guy, but I don't want to show you guys a single enemy. But what we can do is maybe we can come in here and we can try this one here and see how it goes. See if my strategy works over in this one. So let's jump into this one. Oh, we're about similar powers, so this will show you. And essentially, all I'm trying to do is, since I got Venomage at level 30, it's made Arena a lot more manageable. So what we do here is we just come in, we do our skill 3 with Venomage, and then we do our skill 3 with Narma, which allows us to, because they have 3 debuffs, you got to target an enemy with 3 debuffs. It then spreads the sensitivity and the extra poisons to all of the enemies. And then what we can do is we can come over here and we can use our skill 2 to then spread more poisons. You know, it could spread the other things as well, but normally you're going to be spreading more poisons with that. And from there, we can just cleanse that stuff. It didn't really matter, but it's just... Actually, we could have just done the armor break, but hey, it is what it is. And so then we can go here, and now the only real threat left is the Tagoar, and now we can use our skill 2 and exploit all those poisons. Normally, you're going to kill most of them. Unfortunately, Tagoar's just a bit tanky as well. Also, this Tagoar has the 3-star ascension, so she's got the cleansing. But essentially, like, the big thing was getting the Venomage beefed up, or not even beefed up, just sped up so that Venomage could go before by Narma and then get the poisons up. And once again, it's a speed race, and we're early game, so we're not very fast. We're at like 170 speed, which is slow as shit. But for day 2/3, it's pretty much all you need. So that's kind of where I'm at. And so the Venomage has made Arena a lot better on this account. And once again, the whole game is about speed. So farming some of that chapter 6 to get speed gear, whether it be the 4-5-star speed boots on the speed set, then some of the other pieces so you could make sets, is a way that you can cheese around some of the speed requirements over here. Now let's see if we can go ahead and beat this guy. Let's see if we outspeed, because once again, it's all about just outspeeding and hopefully putting our debuffs on. That's not too bad, because Venomage actually lived, and Venomage only needs to do this one task, which is good enough for me. I'm pretty happy with that. We're probably actually, dude on the left is probably going to clap me, so let's go ahead and see if we can get him dead. Okay, we spreaded some extra poisons. Actually, I didn't even look who was geared or anything like that, to be honest. And so now we can do that. We can get you. Unfortunately, Narma's too slow, so we are going to get clapped by this guy. Oh no, the poisons did their work. I didn't think we had enough poisons. There you go. And like I said, you know, for a non-nuker, if you have Tholin, this is a lot easier. But, you know, this is the strategy that I've been using over in Arena, which has made life a lot better. Now, I'm hoping to get to gold in the next day or so. Which would be pretty decent considering I'm not refreshing. Now, you can see I am energy capped because I just claimed one of the 400 and something energy and then leveled up to 35. So I got to get back to burning my energy. We did unlock the forge, like I said, so we've been I will be crafting the 4 to 5 stars, but I only do it when I have rank and rarity charms, because getting some 5-star, some good 5-star perception pieces at this stage of the game is also a massive win. And so that's what's sort of carrying me at the moment is the 4 and 5-star perception pieces that I'm crafting. So that's like a nice little boost early game, and that's why even when you're like crafting the 4 to 5s, I like using the charms just to, you know, get yourself some good early game pieces of gear. I think that's pretty much everything else for the day's play and the progress. Once again, there's not too much else to cover. We did do our Chimera attack as well. If we go down here, you might even see it. There we go, Vulcan Morph, there we are. So we ended up doing 2 keys. We got 1.81 and 1.9. So that's going to get us the 3rd chest. We actually got pretty close to the max chest, but hey, we were on very much a time crunch when we unlocked this. So I just rushed through as quick as I can. And at least we get a chest out of it. So we're going to get double chests because we killed the easy, obviously. So that's what we did over there as well. You can see the sort of damage. Narma just absolutely carrying the damage, just putting those poisons on, exploding them. And that's pretty much all we did. That's the general strat. But anyway, that is the update for the account. Let me know what you guys are doing, how your progression's going. What are you guys doing with your summons? Are you just popping them on the 2x? Are you waiting? Once again, we do have a 2x this weekend. Hey, maybe even I just pop them this weekend and not even worry about events and stuff like that because, you know, 2x's are bloody tempting. We'll see how we go. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.